Apple may be preparing to shut down one of the most surprising and exciting developments in smartphone file sharing. According to well-known Apple insider Mark Gurman, the company is likely to kill off a new AirDrop-related feature as soon as it possibly can, even though it didn't come from Apple at all. This story began when Google announced something that instantly caught the tech world's attention. The company revealed that its upcoming Pixel 10 phones will be able to use AirDrop to share files with an iPhone. Not quick share pretending to be something else, not some complicated workaround, but real, direct, peer-to-peer file sharing that the iPhone recognizes in the same way it recognizes another iPhone. Google confirmed that this method doesn't send data through any external servers. It doesn't log the data either. The connection is established directly between the Pixel and the iPhone, which is exactly how Apple's AirDrop normally works. In other words, Google found a fully legitimate, technically clean way to talk to Apple's system. This kind of cross-ecosystem compatibility is something users have been asking for years. After all, sharing files between Android and iPhone has always been frustrating. Suddenly, Google shows it's possible, and that it can be done securely. But here's the catch: Mark Gurman believes Apple will shut this down quickly. He says Apple will want to kill this ASAP, and realistically, that shouldn't surprise anyone. AirDrop has always been part of Apple's walled garden, a feature that keeps users inside the iPhone ecosystem. If Android devices can use it, that wall starts to weaken. Google, for its part, is open to officially working with Apple to expand this compatibility, but that doesn't mean Apple will agree. The company has historically preferred keeping tight control over how its features work, especially the ones that differentiate iPhones from Android phones. Still, Apple is in a tricky position. Blocking Google's new feature might trigger even more regulatory pressure, something Apple is already dealing with, especially in the EU. Over the last year, Apple has been forced to remove many of its walled garden limitations. For example, the Digital Markets Act made Apple switch the iPhone 15 to USB-C, which ended the Lightning era much earlier than Apple wanted. The DMA also forced the company to allow app sideloading in the EU and made third-party NFC payments possible. These are features Apple never planned to open up, but regulators left them no choice. Even in the United States, the pressure on Apple's ecosystem is increasing. So now, Apple has to decide, does it block Google's AirDrop breakthrough and risk getting hit harder by regulators, or does it let it stand and watch its exclusive ecosystem weaken? If Apple does nothing, this sets a major precedent. It means other Android manufacturers could start doing the same thing, creating their own ways to plug into Apple features. That could slowly break down one of the biggest reasons people stay inside the iPhone world. On the other hand, if Apple shuts the feature down, it needs to justify that decision to governments that are already watching closely. At a time when Apple's walled garden is cracking in multiple places, this decision becomes much more complicated than just block it. Right now, most signs point to Apple trying to end the feature, but nothing is official yet. Users can't help but wonder what the future of AirDrop will look like, and whether Apple will eventually be forced to allow more cross-platform features. One thing is clear: the boundaries between ecosystems are shifting. Whether Apple likes it or not, the pressure to open up is stronger than ever.